So the selection process of the New Contemporaries works in two steps. The first phase is looking at visual materials. It's quite a large amount of applications. In our case, was around 1,500. So we, the three judges, go look at all of those and listen to proposals, and then we make a shortlist. And then in the second stage, we come back to the shortlist and make the final selection.
We spent 5 days looking at quite a lot of work on the computer screen, and then this week we've been looking at the work in the flesh.
And we don't know anything about the artists. We don't know where they are living. We don't know what art school they've attended, what their age or their gender, or anything about their social background. We just look at the work. We know the titles of the work and anything that they have, any information they've given us about it.
But coming in here and seeing the work in the flesh has been quite uplifting in a way.
And it's amazing what a difference it makes, because of course when they're all on photograph or JPEGs, it equalises the size, you can't see details of the materiality, so it's very exciting when we actually get to see the work itself.
I think I'm aware that a lot of the work that certainly the work we've chosen, and maybe some of the work we haven't chosen, that it is very specific to making work in Britain in 2016, 2017. I feel that's quite obvious. There seems to be an anxiety about quite a lot of the work.
And so it's been picked up sometimes a few pieces quite literal, containing reference, not commenting on the Brexit, let's say, but also gender, transgender, definitely. But it's not so. It's already, in terms of transgender, it's already the second generation, so it manages to create something poetic, and it doesn't have to be just a platform for it.
I mean, I'm not sure that the tendencies that are reflected in the show reflect the whole submission, what's going on for art students generally. But I think, or at least I hope, the work that we've selected has some sense of what it is, the world in which this art has been made over the last few years. So there are reflections on, broader current affairs, social politics, the social context in which art has been made. You can see something of the life of the individuals making the artists in some of the work. And I think you do get that sense of, I hope, an art not abstracted or removed from the situations, from the intimate to the kind of global.
I was quite surprised and a little bit pleased to find out that the Bloomberg New Contemporaries was going to Gateshead.
It's also a really vibrant city. The Baltic is really used by people living there and also people traveling there just to go and look at shows. So the Bloomberg New Contemporaries will be exposed to a really wide audience.
I think what would probably make a good application, as opposed to a good piece of work, I suppose. I mean, to be honest, you can make a good piece of work, you could be a great artist, and you can make a terrible application. I think you've just got to be extremely clear about what you're doing, and that can make it seem quite tight and maybe against creativity in a way. But I think being clear about what you're doing is part and parcel of what artists are about. I think it's taking the jumble of the world and focusing in on it and actually trying to make some kind of sense or order of it.
I would tell applicants, don't waste images by just supplying 4 different photographs of the same piece. Often I think that is not just that it's could be used for something else, it tires somehow the selection process. Keep it fresh, give as much information as necessary, but not more than necessary. And sometimes also less is more, because of course you can submit in a way everything you have made, but a pre-selection would make the application sharper. It's maybe one of the bigger platforms a student will have after having shown. So, and I think showing is a big part of the process. It's not about being known, but it's different to make something for yourself or out it to the world. And so also, so it means a lot to the artist, but also to the audience. Again, there will also be a lot of younger or anyway students looking at it. It's a capture of the moment as well, what's happening in the art process. It sits next to an art market, a commercial world. I think it's really important. It keeps it really vibrant.